That's why Hellcats are sick as fuck. Freedom Street Garage, welcome back. Thanks for joining us once again. I got my hands on the red keys to this Hellcat Charger, and it's a beautiful day in San Diego. So let's take this thing for a drive and see what it's all about. All right, setting off in the Hellcat Charger REDEYE. I've got the red key. So if you don't know, this red key unlocks all 797 horsepower of this Hellcat, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn my phone on silent, and I'm gonna start this thing up. God, this thing sounds so good. When I get in a Hellcat, I like to press this SRT button, go to custom mode, and set up the driving mode how I want it. So when this thing is in street mode, the suspension is a little bit soft, so I like to crank it up to track or sport. Steering, same way. It's a little bit too soft in street, so I like to crank that up to either sport or track. Transmission, street is fine. Power, of course, we're gonna go with 797. And the traction, I'm keeping that in street because the car already does struggle for traction, so I won't mess with that. I'm just gonna leave the traction in street mode and we'll run it like that. These things have such large and chunky steering wheels, and the same with the seats. The seats are so chunky and like comfortable. I think it's pretty cool. I like having a nice thick steering wheel to hold on to and a nice comfy seat to sit in, and that's what this car has. It has both of those things. I don't know if you can hear it, but the supercharger, even at very low RPMs, it's extremely vocal. I'm a fan of it. I love hearing the supercharger. I love boost in general, personally. So it is nice to be able to actually hear the supercharger on something like this. Like all Hellcats, of course. It's like you hear more supercharger than V8 sound. And this thing's got a Borla catback exhaust on it too. I would imagine most people that drive these are just driving them in normal, just automatic mode, but personally, I do like to use the paddle shifters. It's just nice to choose what gear you're in. Sometimes you want a little bit more power, you want to squeeze a little bit more out of a particular gear, and yeah, using the paddles does allow you to do that. These cars are extremely easy to drive. It's not like like other cars where, you know, you're really it's just snappy and always kicking it out. I mean, these will kick it out, but the chassis feels pretty planted to where when you're really getting in it, you know, you're not really going anywhere unless you kick the throttle down. Now, once you kick the throttle down, you're going to kick the back end out no matter what. It's going to slide. Oh man, this thing has some nice, the power just feels awesome in this thing. Man, I love the way this car sounds. It's so fast, it's so easy to drive, it sounds amazing, and it's got so much tech included in it just to make the experience even better. I don't know, I'm a big fan of it, and driving it here in San Diego with this beautiful weather, there's not much more that I could ask for. Downshift a couple gears, and now we're in fifth. Let's do a little pull. Man, this thing jams. I will never not like Hellcats. The engine is really what makes this car as epic as it is. Hitting a little bit of traffic here. Sorry, mister. It's nice. I'm serious, guys. This is the kind of car that you're not taking no for an answer when it comes to passing people, because all you got to do is tap the left paddle a couple times and then put your foot down on the gas pedal, and you're taking off. You're passing every car, because this car, being 797 horsepower, is more power than most cars that are on the road. Like this Honda Accord in front of me, probably like 260 horsepower. This Infiniti to the right of me, maybe 300 at best. Like the car behind me, 200 horsepower. Like, I'm telling you, this thing is basically quadruple what any other car on the road is at any given time, which is crazy. Of course, being in downtown San Diego, there is a little bit of traffic because we're near the airport, but one of my personal favorite parts of this car is not only the sound, but the color also. Like, the Hellraisin paint is guaranteed to basically break necks wherever you drive it, and then you start driving and the sound just catches people's eyes. I can see people on the side of the road just like snapping their necks looking at this thing, which is pretty cool. All right, now that we've seen what this thing is like to drive in traffic on city streets, let's see what this thing does on the freeway. Once we get through yet another batch of traffic, great. Oh man, the instant snappiness of the supercharger, it's just so good. Let's see, drop another gear. Oh yes, I'm a fan of that. That's why Hellcats are sick as fuck. All right, let's slow it down a little bit before I get a ticket, because this car, I gotta say, it's quite easy to get carried away with your speeds if you don't keep an eye on it. So like just back there, I was going an unmentionable number. So I'm not gonna mention the number I was going because it's unmentionable, but you gotta keep an eye on the speedometer in these things because they are very quick and it's easy for the speed to come up on you. Yeah, when you have a car like this, you want to constantly have ways open. These cars are made for cutting up. Safely, of course. You can cut up safely. Sorry, Tesla. Not sorry. Like this video if you hate EVs and would rather have a Hellcat. Man, this thing is so freaking snappy. That wraps it up, guys. This Hellcat is an absolute beast. You can feel that 797 horsepower, and I love this car, and it really is one of the best muscle cars to exist of all time. So if you want to win this car, tap the link in our description, head over to freedomstreetgarage.com. You could be taking this beast home. We've given away Hellcats before, and Now it's your chance to take one home. This Hellraisin wide-body Hellcat Redeye, $797, could be all yours. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Take it easy.